Maybe you're living a battle no one sees. That pressure to always seem strong, to smile when everything inside is falling apart. The fear of speaking and being misunderstood. The exhaustion of explaining yourself to people who never really listen. This invisible prison of expectations, judgments, and demands silently drains your energy. But there's a way out that requires no shouting or justification. Quietly letting go of what's silently breaking you from within. What if your greatest strength isn't in responding, but in knowing when to remain silent? Instead of wasting yourself trying to change what's outside, Stoic wisdom teaches that true transformation begins when you silently eliminate what no longer belongs in your mind. Self-control, serenity, and mental discipline become your silent shields against emotional chaos. Watch this video until the end and learn how to let go of what holds you back. Eliminate toxic habits and turn silence into a powerful act of practical wisdom that strengthens emotional resilience and mastery of the mind. If you live according to others' opinions, you'll always be their slave. Epictetus. Have you noticed how your mood changes with just one comment? How a disapproving look or a passive-aggressive critique can completely shake your confidence? No matter how strong you try to be, all it takes is someone not liking what you do for your mind to crumble. And so you start living to please, justify, explain, adapt. Deep down, you slowly drift away from your own essence just to fit into the expectations of others. Stoic philosophy teaches that true freedom begins when you stop trying to control what's outside of you, especially what others think. It doesn't matter if they understand your choices, approve of your steps, or agree with your way of life. Your focus must be on living with virtue, not with applause. The need for approval is a mental prison that drains your clarity, steals your authenticity, and weakens your emotional strength. Letting go of this habit silently is an act of power. You don't need to cause a scene or confront anyone. Just stop explaining yourself. Begin making decisions aligned with your own principles and values, even if no one understands. When your mind is no longer addicted to external validation, it becomes stronger through internal validation. Peace begins the moment you give yourself permission to be, without an audience. Picture yourself walking down a quiet trail, far from the voices that always dictated what you should be. In that space of strategic silence, self-discipline grows. You learn to observe more and justify less. That's where true mental mastery begins. Those who don't rely on others' applause aren't shaken by their boos. And this posture becomes unshakable over time. So if you feel like you're constantly trying to please everyone, maybe it's time to quietly abandon that weight. The need for approval isn't affection, it's disguised control. And every time you give in, you abandon a part of yourself. Set yourself free in silence, no need to announce anything. Just choose yourself. You'll soon realize that once you stop asking for permission, your inner power starts leading the way. If that already opened your eyes, wait until you discover what's coming next. What harms us is not what happens, but our reaction to it. Marcus Aurelius. How many times have you regretted saying something in the heat of the moment? Maybe you shouted, cut ties, or walked away from someone because of an impulsive reaction. In the instant you act without thinking, control slips away. What could have been solved with calm turns into emotional chaos. These knee-jerk reactions don't reveal strength. They reveal lack of self-control. And that's how many lose their peace, their reason, and even their true selves. The Stoics remind us that between stimulus and response lies a space, and within that space is our power. When you learn to master your emotions, you stop being a puppet of circumstance. Strategic silence isn't passivity, it's emotional intelligence. Not reacting doesn't mean weakness, it means wisdom. It means having enough strength to observe before acting, to breathe before deciding, to respond with awareness instead of impulse. Letting go of this habit requires inner vigilance. It's looking inward every time your blood starts to boil, choosing serenity even when everything inside screams to explode. Mastery of the mind is born in those seconds when you hold your response, walk away from the fight, and refuse to feed the need to be right. That's not escape, and it's clarity. The courage to not drown with those who try to drag you down. The emotional strength of someone who builds instead of destroys. Visualize a rock standing firm in the middle of a storm. It doesn't respond to the wind, doesn't argue with the water. It just stands still. That's the image of the resilience you can build. Impulsive reaction burns bridges, hurts people, and distances you from your wisdom. But calm and silent self-control builds respect, authority, and lightness. You don't need to prove your strength. Your silence says everything, and more. Every time you choose silence over explosion, you're training your mind to master yourself, not be mastered by others. You become unshakable, not because you don't feel, but because you no longer surrender to the chaos. That's the true inner freedom Stoicism offers to those who practice. But there's a detail most people don't notice, and it changes everything. Don't look at what others have. Look at what you already have. Seneca. You open social media, and in seconds, you begin to feel small. Someone is traveling more, another has the perfect body, someone else seems happy all the time. And even though you know it's just a highlight reel, your mind still convinces you that you're falling behind. Comparison doesn't happen with strangers. It happens with those you see every day, and silently, it starts to erode your self-worth. It's a quiet, poisonous pain that traps you in a never-ending loop of dissatisfaction. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only valid measure is your own growth. Looking to others as your ruler is to forget that every journey is unique. You don't know their battles, the emptiness they hide, or the prices they pay for what they display. True wisdom lies in measuring yourself by your own steps. Am I better today than yesterday? Am I more grounded, more aware, more peaceful? That's real progress, and the only kind that matters. Comparison is a trap that clouds your clarity and shifts your focus. When you live measuring yourself by others, you disconnect from your truth. You start chasing what's not yours, desiring what you don't need, forgetting what you already have. Your mind turns into a toxic battleground where nothing ever feels enough. Silently eliminating this habit is an act of self-respect. It's a quiet declaration that your journey is too sacred to be compared. Picture yourself walking a forest path. While looking at others' trails, you trip over your own. But when you focus on your own steps, your breath, your pace, the walk gains meaning. Stoicism invites us to this conscious walk, where value is found in consistent effort, not in others' showcases. Slowly, comparison gives way to gratitude, presence, and self-appreciation. Letting go of this habit is refusing to run a race that was never yours. It's reclaiming the energy wasted on hidden envy and disguised frustrations. You begin to celebrate your internal victories, even if no one sees, and that alone is already a sign of emotional strength and mental mastery. Because those focused on growth have no time for competition. Now that you understand the why, let's explore the how. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's a duty to your own soul. Epictetus. How many times have you felt bad for saying no? For choosing rest over availability, silence over explanations, or for walking away from people who were draining your energy? The guilt of putting yourself first is subtle but devastating. It creeps in the moment you begin to choose yourself, but that inner voice, shaped by years of conditioning, whispers that you're being selfish, cold, or abandoning others. The Stoics teach us that the foundation of a virtuous life is balance. And there's no balance when you constantly deny yourself to please others. If your cup is always empty, how can you pour into anyone else's? Putting yourself first is about restoring your energy so you can serve with more clarity, presence, and truth. Self-care isn't luxury, it's discipline. Solitude isn't isolation, it's a space for clarity and renewal. Letting go of that guilt requires emotional courage. You must accept that some people will judge you, that certain bonds may grow distant, and that's okay. Those who truly respect you will understand your boundaries. Those who don't were only benefiting from your lack of them. Strategic silence becomes your shield here. You don't need to justify yourself. You only need to take your stand, with serenity and firmness. Picture your mind as a house. If you leave the door open for everyone, one day you'll find yourself surrounded by noise, clutter, and demands. But when you close the door and clean your inner space, you start hearing your own voice again. You begin to see what really matters. And in that silence, emotional strength is born. You rebuild not by screaming your pain, but by honoring your need for peace. Self-discipline often means choosing what feels hard now to enjoy peace later. Saying no is an act of love. Choosing your own well-being is a step of wisdom. And if that disturbs others, perhaps the disturbance was never about you, but about the dependency they created on your lack of boundaries. Your mission isn't to carry the world, but to take care of yourself so you can walk strongly through it. But there's still one last poison that, if not eliminated, will keep silently sabotaging you from within. Happiness lies in living according to nature and accepting what it brings. Marcus Aurelius. Have you ever tried to fix something that was never yours to control? Lost sleep replaying what you could have done differently, even though someone else chose to walk away? Or stayed stuck in situations from the past that no matter how often you revisit in your mind, they'll never return? This attachment to what's beyond your reach is a silent poison. It paralyzes you, frustrates you, and drains your energy. Like trying to hold water with your bare hands. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips through. Stoicism reminds us there's a clear line between what belongs to us and what doesn't. Your thoughts, your choices, your actions, those are yours. But time, people, outcomes, the future, those are not. When you insist on controlling the uncontrollable, you create unnecessary suffering. When you accept the limits of your power with serenity, you access a peace that's no longer dependent on circumstances. That's where real freedom lives. Letting go of this attachment doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing. You keep acting with excellence, but without obsessing over the outcome. You do your best, but let go of the need to manipulate what isn't yours. That takes mental mastery, resilience, and a clarity that can only grow in inner silence. Those who release what they can't control hold more firmly what truly matters: their inner peace, their focus, their direction. Picture a boat adrift at sea, trying to change the wind with its hands. Impossible. But when you adjust your sails and let the wind blow, your journey flows. That's the wisdom Stoicism offers. Don't fight what already is. Align yourself with what can be. That surrender isn't weakness. It's the most refined form of emotional strength. It's stepping out of anxiety and into calm, steady action. Letting go of this attachment is ending the mental battles against reality. It's accepting that some answers won't come, some people will leave, some plans will shift. And yet, you go on, lighter, clearer, wiser. Because your strength isn't in controlling everything, but in staying grounded when everything shifts. And that power is born in the silence of acceptance. Now that all of this has settled in, it's time to bring these lessons together in one final reflection. You began this video carrying the invisible weight of silent struggles, trying too hard to please, reacting without thinking, comparing yourself in secret, feeling guilty for choosing yourself or staying attached to what you can't control. Each of these burdens acts like a quiet chain that suffocates your mind and steals your serenity. But now, through each Stoic lesson, a new clarity has emerged. Silence is no longer weakness. It's become a tool for liberation. What used to hold you back now reveals itself as something you can and must quietly release. The real turning point doesn't happen when the world changes. It begins when you change your relationship with the world. You don't need to conquer others. You need to conquer yourself. That is self-discipline. That is resilience. That is mastery of the mind. No matter where you are right now, if you begin applying what you've learned here quietly and consistently, you will build an emotional strength that no one can shake. And the best part, you won't need to prove anything to anyone. If you've made it this far, comment right now, "I choose Stoic strength." That shows you're committed to your inner transformation. And if this video touched you in any way, join this community of practical wisdom. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Silence can be a weapon, but when used with wisdom, it becomes a shield and a bridge to a life of clarity, calm, and unshakable strength. You're ready to live it.